All right, so let's get into the nitty-gritty of PDD, Preliminary Declaration of Disclosures, which includes several forms, but two important forms is the form FL-115 Common Expense Declaration and FL-142 Assets and Debt form. Let me do screen sharing. And here is the form FL-142. All right, this is how it looks. We fill out, if you're self-represented, your name, address, email, and then here you would say self-represented. So it says state by number, fax number, Superior Court address. I'm using Alameda this time, just for variety purposes. And then petitioner's name, respondent's name, and then here's the schedule of assets and debts. I'm checking off respondent because each party has to do, in uncontested case, not in default, in uncontested, their preliminary declaration of disclosures. And then we check off respondent has to do his or hers, case number. And then in the instruction, it says include all your community and separate property assets and put P for petitioner, R for respondent in the first column. I never do that because it has to do with legal conclusion. This form was created for, long time ago. And unless this account has been opened and not commingled before marriage, then sure. But otherwise, it creates assumption that you know what legal conclusion is, which I don't like. So skip that. All values should be as of the date of signing the declaration unless you specify different valuation date. So real estate, date acquired, current fair market value. And if you don't have a appraised value, which is what I usually recommend, although by the time you have a trial, it might be a year later, so you might have to do a second appraisal. The way to do it to save money is to get Zillow value or Redfin value and then average it out, and then amount of money owed or encumbrances. So here you would put your total outstanding mortgage balance, and if you have a second loan, then you would put it here as number 2. Household appliances, furniture, I keep it really, unless you have, high asset kind of situation and you want to list it out, sure. But typically furniture, by the time you want to sell it on a garage sale, it's not worth much. So I put very, a number that seems reasonable, because if the other side says, okay, you put $50,000, so why don't you keep it and give me half? Then you got to look at it, from a perspective of, do I really want to put a higher amount of higher number if I don't want to really buy the other side out? And jewelry, the same thing. So jewelry, miscellaneous art throughout the house, it's same as furniture. You would put, if it's a wedding ring, then you would put Tiffany wedding ring, platinum, current value. We don't know. Look at real, and you'll have an idea, minus whatever, 25% of commission. Okay, so vehicles either leased, financed, or cash up front. Date acquired, current market value. Again, I would look at Blue Book to see the miles and the year and the mark and all of that, and then put, if it's leased, actually it's financed, so it would be how much is owed to the bank. This is strange that someone wrote unknown. The only time it makes sense if that car is in the other party possession. So it's fine. I would just put a note in the respondent's possession, then it makes sense why it's unknown. And since respondent is filling out, so it makes sense that it says petitioner. So they just don't know how much is owed, which doesn't matter if that is a separate property of petitioner. Now, savings account could be any saving account. So make sure to put account name, which is, checking, saving account number. it could be Chase, Saving, 1234, and branch. I never put the branch, so I would skip the branch. And then attach a copy of a latest statement. So then we put the date the account was opened and how much money is in the account. Same for checking account. Again, unknown if it's in another person's possession. Why would we disclose the other side's accounts? Just to put them on notice, don't forget to put how much is in your account because I know you have it. That's all. Then credit union, cash. Cash we put sometimes Chase, Safe, deposit box, X, tax refund, life insurance. That's very, see attached, stock bonds. Sometimes it doesn't fit, so we see attached. Okay, all of it says see attached. Other assets, miscellaneous, cryptocurrency, loans, credit cards. So you see it's self-explanatory. So Hilton Honors, Inspire card, XY numbers, and then how much is owed. And then you calculate a total amount of debt and specify is a typo. So how many, specify number of pages attached. So probably 2 or 1 page. So it's a typo. Okay, so what do we have here? Attachment FL142, case number, item, and then number corresponding to where we said attached. And here all the stock, bonds, secured notes, mutual funds. We describe them here. I would skip again this middle part and then just go over the value of each account. Number 12, retirement 401k, the same, how much is in the account. And this unknown is again how much maybe the loan was taken. Petitioner probably took a loan and who the respondent who fills this out doesn't know how much. So it's like, look, I know there is a loan. And the petitioner would have to prove how much. And then the same for profit sharing, annuities, IRAs. So that's for the form FL142, and make sure all of these accounts are attached. Now let's move on to the form FL150. FL150, again, we fill out the top the same way as every other form. And then you see, most people forget this piece. Attach copies of your pay stubs for last 2 months, black out social security numbers. Why? Because it's going to be public record. So employer address, phone number, occupation, date the job started if unemployed. I work 40 hours. And then you can either say how much per hour or how much per month. Your age. Okay, I don't like this. I don't like how it does that. Let me make it bigger. Age, I have completed high school, yes or no. Number of years in college, 4. Degree, BS in applied economy. It's funny. So number of years of graduate school completed, 3. Degree, MS, applied in economics, and then tax. I last filed for tax the year, whatever the last year was. My filing status is missing, married filing jointly. The name was the other spouse. I filed tax returns in California or other state and claimed the number of exemptions. Other party, I don't fill this out unless I really know. I estimate gross monthly income of the other party, X amount. Her total comp package is approximately that. When they file taxes jointly, that's how they know. Then date, type your name, sign. Don't forget the top. And then here we have income, salary. Last month's versus average of last 12 months. You see total by 12. Divide the total by 12 to create an average. Overtime, commission, bonuses. I mean, some people don't fill it out. You can leave it blank, but you will have pay stubs attached. So commission and bonuses will be part of it. Social Security, workers' compensation. So whatever is needed to be filled out here, just make sure you put the last month and average. Investment income, dividends. That seems very low for what I think I saw on on assets and debt. But that you can find in your investment account when you download tax information for the prior year. Self-employment income, that's a separate income. Just make sure it's after business expenses for all businesses. After, meaning it's not gross, it's you deduct all expenses. So very important. And if you do that, make sure to attach Schedule C from your tax return. Then another additional on income, lottery winning, inheritance in the last 12 months, change of income in the last 12 months, and then deductions. And these are deductions that can be put on the semester calculator. That's why it's important. Union dues, retirement payments, not Social Security, 401k, medical, hospital, dental, child support that I paid still from other relationships, spouse support that I paid different marriage, partner support that I paid court order from different domestic partnership, necessary job-related expenses not reimbursed by my employer. Okay, now assets, cash and checking account, savings, and other deposits. So this is more liquid. B is less liquid, but I could sell it. And C is usually completely not liquid. This would be furniture, and that would be real estate. Then we have the following people live with me: ex-spouse, daughter, grandmother, and then their age and how much they make. Why is this important? Well, if you live with your significant other and seeking support, well, the cohabitation could be a reason for receiving less support if your romantic partner supports you. I usually check off at number 13 estimated expenses because, usually it's easier to round it up instead of look at the bank statements to see if it's on average exactly this number. So mortgage, real estate, real property taxes, maintenance and repair for the real estate, healthcare costs not paid by insurance, so out of pocket. Childcare would be daycare, babysitters, groceries and household, eating out, utilities, gas, electric, water, telephone, laundry, clothes, education, entertainment, outer expenses, insurance, gas repair, and bus seat, etc. That seems a lot. Insurance, life, accident, do not include auto, home, or health. Savings, investment, so this is how much you can put away. And that amount, savings and investment, will also go into what's the standard of living. So if you're used to save $5,000 a month, then when we do calculate long-term spousal support, we also look at how much was the marriage community property was saving. Okay, so charitable contributions, $6 a month. Monthly payment listed in item 14, which is installment payments and debt not listed above. So usually credit cards, which will be deducted. And then whatever else is not specified in this form, and total expenses, that amount, and paid by others, which is important because if, let's say, someone is paying a parent or grandparent, then it could go into consideration money available for support. Attorney's fees. So this information is only required if either party is requesting attorney's fees. So you don't need to disclose it if you're not asking, or the other side is not asking for attorney's fees. How much do you pay retainer, the source, and it could be, loan, credit cards, my paycheck, and how much is owed, and what is the hourly rate. Then we say the date, signature, and then final page is child support information. I have X amount of children, X percentage was the time that a parent, and the way you calculate percentage, you go to the child support calculator, and then the first page that has GOV, you click on that and then click start, and then click on the actual form advanced, and then you see how to calculate percentage. Number 17, children healthcare expenses. If I do or do not have, how much, insurance, monthly cost for their insurance, and fill out additional expenses for the children in this case. So I think this is all self-explanatory. Let me close this form. The only form that needs to be filed is this FL 141. And let's go over this form. So we got the same thing we usually have. We filled out the respondent's preliminary declaration of disclosure. I'm the attorney for respondent. Or if you're not the attorney, then you uncheck that and you say I'm respondent. And then respondent's preliminary declaration of disclosure form FL 140, which is the form is going to be next. Income and expense declaration, assets and debt form has been with appropriate attachments, all tax returns filed by the party of 2 last years before service of and all other required information under Family Code Section 2104. So basically attach the 2 last months of pay stubs, 2 last years of tax returns, and all attachments required for FL 142, right? Whatever is on there. 2, the other party attorney served via email address on that date. And that's it. Sometimes you have final declaration disclosure, which is we usually waive it, but you could check off final if it was served. That's the form that goes to be, that form needs to be filed. Declaration regarding service of, basically it shows that you delivered the preliminary declaration of disclosure forms to the other side. And this is the cover page for all the forms. Once you fill them all out, you fill it out, so your name, everything the same, respondent's preliminary declaration of disclosure, completed. So it's like a cover page, what's completed. Income and expense declaration, assets and debt declaration, all tax return for 2 years. If you have any appraisals regarding valuation of assets, is there all material facts regarding obligation which community is liable, not a form. If there is, actually never have this. An accurate, the reason I'm checking it because it's part of the FL 142. For example, credit cards, usually. 6, an accurate and complete written disclosure of any investment opportunity, business opportunity, or other income producing opportunity presented since the date of separation that results from any investment, significant business, or other income producing opportunity from the date of marriage to the date of separation. So that would be any investment that has been done for community, and it's not a form, it's just a statement, or if there is something else that needs to be disclosed, then it would be attached. So usually it's a statement for an investment account. Then you type your name, sign, and that's it. Okay. This is a very important step because if it's not done correctly, the other side can come back and say, you omitted this asset in the preliminary declaration of disclosure. I want to set aside the whole judgment. I haven't received the statements. It could create a lot of mess. That's why this step is very, very, very important to be correct on and attach everything and overshare, then not share at all. And filing this FL 141 form and ensure, but this is only applicable for if you're the petitioner, you have to serve, or if it's uncontested. So if it's a default, then the only time the respondent doesn't have to do it, it's if it's default with an agreement. And we have been going through these forms in a different video. So, all right, I hope that was helpful. And I'll see you in the next video.